the new limited edition Picco DIX. Picco said that this is a tribute to their French connections and top driver Renault Savoia. 10 ports off-road engine. I have never seen a 10 ports off-road engine before. Finally, Picco came out with something different, because since the Picco P3X or the Picco Blast, I don't know which one of those came out first, all Picco engines look the same. 5 ports, very similar crankshaft design and even similar cooling head. You have to do some very precise measurements, timing numbers, measurements to notice the difference between those engines. That's the reason why I did not buy the Picco P3TX. It looks very, very similar to the P3TT, but this one is different. Comes with a 10 ports sleeve and a very different crankshaft, similar to the on-road engines, to the on-road Picco engines. Let me take it apart and show you the internals. Here's the Picco DIX disassembled. Let's start with the cooling head. Nice black cooling head with the French flag colors. Not the same cooling heads as the previous Piccos. This one seems to be the same cooling head as the Picco P3TX. The bottom head with 0.55 millimeters head shims and a head O-ring. Turbo head, of course. The backplate, same backplate as any other Picco, nothing crazy here. The carb with a short low speed needle. These Picco carbs tune extremely well. Insulated, of course. Comes with a 7.5 millimeters Venturi and an extra 7 millimeters Venturi. I forgot to say, Picco engines, they come with no glow plug. Picco are not making glow plugs anymore, sadly. The block, this is a very nice looking block. I like the shape of this block. It looks just better than any other block, in my opinion. Perfect machining inside the block. A ceramic rear bearing. Steel front bearing, made in Japan. The piston. Looking perfect. Machined, of course. Same connecting rod as the previous Piccos, part number 1381. Sleeve. The exhaust port looks pretty much the same as the previous Piccos. And 10 ports. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 4 on this side. The cuts are looking absolutely perfect. Everything is nice and smooth. Let me compare this sleeve to the previous 5 ports Picco sleeve. At first sight, the exhaust port looks the same. Looks like an on-road sleeve, but on-road engines come with 3 ports exhaust, and the crankshaft. This is how a Picco crankshaft usually looks like, with a smaller hole and the 3 fangs. This one has a very different design. This is the same design as the on-road Piccos, same as this one, Maxi 5 Picco Monza GT. Looks very similar to this crankshaft. This is a Picco Rebel XL crankshaft. So we have a smaller opening on the crankshaft. It's an RTR engine, but it is the same design as the Picco P3TT crankshaft, with a large opening, silicone filled, and DLC, of course. Everything looks perfect. All right, let me show you the timing numbers. Picco DIX 16.03 bore, 17.3 stroke, opening at 150 degrees, closing at 67, 68, for a total of 218 degrees. So very similar to the P3TT engines. 217. This may be a difference in my measurements. It's not very easy to measure that by eye. And similar timing numbers on the crankshaft to the Picco Monza GT 219. Yeah, very similar timing numbers. Yeah, the crankshaft design is different from the Picco P3TT. Same numbers but different design. Blowdown 21. Exhaust size, so exhaust height 54, and duration 186. That's different from the off-road Piccos. The Picco P3TT comes with a higher blowdown, same exhaust size, and lower duration. You have the same duration as the Monza GT, a smaller exhaust, of course. On-road engines comes with a much bigger exhaust port, so the engine will rev higher, bigger exhaust port, higher blowdown. So these are definitely off-road timing numbers, so this engine will run different for sure. Alright guys, what can I say? It's a very nice looking engine. I'm very excited about this. Finally Picco came out with something different, and the price is good. Sold for a fair price. When Reds comes with a limited edition engine, these engines are super expensive. I got this one for pretty cheap, but the regular price was crazy. This was 479 euros engine, and the new Reds with the golden cooling head is sold at almost 500 euros. This one is much cheaper, and well, Picco engines, the quality is at least as good as the Reds engines quality, and they perform at least as good as Reds engines. I prefer Piccos. I recommend Piccos. Price is good, quality is outstanding, and well, this one is very nice. Limited edition. Yeah, you better get one before they run out of stock. Alright, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I see you in the next one.